Well, hello.
Hi,
Welcome
guys.
up.
Wait, I'm so sorry. There we
Thank
go.
you. Thank you. I love
You're
it.
very welcome.
I'm here
No.
for it all the
I
time.
forgot to do it for Survivor, and I'm mad at myself about it.
I mean, I wasn't there to remind you to do this, but
That's very
hey,
true.
hey guys, girls, and gays, and everyone alike. Welcome to The Cup, the currently unnamed podcast where we put the tea in reality, where you could always come here first to quench your thirst. And we're just in that kind of mood tonight where we just want to sit back, relax, and talk about some amazing race. Are you here? Are you down? Are you with us, cool cats and kittens? Period. I am here with this I love it so much.
It's currently 11:21 at night.
I mean, not for me, but you
Not
know.
for me either.
So I'm good. I'm just vibing. Are you vibing with us? Come on, everybody, vibe with me. Hey, love it.
So
love
what? So what I've learned from this is Lana needs to host an ASMR podcast.
I couldn't do it because I wouldn't take that very seriously at all. But
Valid.
all right. So I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and you know I love me some tea. So if you have some tea, hit me up, please, and period. And I have nothing to drink because I don't. I drink it all.
Valid.
Drink it all.
Valid. And I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. Here drinking a very I'm gonna say homosexual beverage. It's just a sparkling water with blackberry citrus.
Okay.
I don't know.
As a homosexual, you can say that.
I can't. I don't know. It just feels that way. And like the packaging, it's also like purple and orange. I don't know. I'm feeling it today.
Sure.
And I am Jack. I kind of got stuck on the second mega leg. But I am a college student, a coffee addict, a Twitch streamer, a game designer, and an overall mess. And I just have water. It's 11:22 at night. I need sleep. But anyway, I've needed sleep for like the past 4 days, and I haven't gotten it.
Well, say Jack isn't feeling the vibes, people. I don't understand what's going on. But it's okay.
4 projects, 4 and 2 finals. I'm going through it.
Yep.
Well,
Relatable.
there you go. The life of a college student. There you go. But we're not going to harp on that. We're going to harp on the amazing race is what we're going to do.
I'm going to harp on the fact that I can't pronounce any of the places that they went in this leg, and I'm not going to try to.
Me either. I don't
know.
I just know I know they were in Iceland. Period.
They were in Reykjavik. I know how to say that one.
All right. Sindri. Thank you.
I know, like where? No, so it's funny. I do have a quick anecdote. So last year when we were covering Eurovision, we covered the Icelandic selection, and we definitely were like, we need to have Sindri because we cannot pronounce any of these words. And thankfully, Sindri was there. But it's like I don't know how to pronounce. And then we attempted to pronounce things, and they were all wrong.
Mm-mm.
So I'm just not going to attempt to say any of the places they went other than we start in Reykjavik. But that's that.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt to say any of those things. We will just discuss what happened because what I learned from my lifetime of living, if you don't know, shut up. So I will shut up. But The Amazing Race starts off with this amazing helicopter ride for all the teams, all 4 teams on this helicopter going over Iceland. Like, come on.
They said, Emily, we're not going to make you walk to this city. Don't worry.
Not yet. Anyway.
We're not going to make you walk. Instead, we're going to make you swim.
A lot.
But so they start off on these helicopters going over this, I'm going to call it a glacier because it looks like a big glacier, but it's Iceland, so it's just a lot of snow.
There's moments, and Phil even says it in the episode, there's moments where glaciers form and then hit mountains, and it's kind of like all of that situation, but gorgeous. That's what I'm going to say.
I'll say beautiful. It is gorgeous, and they did a really good job showing that. It was beautiful to watch. And they land, and then it's off to the races. Derek and Claire and Michelle and Luis start off.
No.
Oh, no. It's Aubrey and David.
Michelle and Aubrey and David, because that's right. Comes into play later on. Yeah.
Luis, Michelle, Aubrey, and David start this leg off, and they're off somewhere.
They are flown to a city that starts with an S. I'm not going to try to say it. Sorry to the people of Iceland.
It's very, very important to note that this leg is all about the Expedia experiences you could go on if you book a trip with them. Which means this challenge is this leg is very, very physical. Like, very physical.
Can I just say, that is the one thing I did not care for in this show today. That episode was it all about Expedia, and I was like, I get it. Expedia is sponsoring this. I get it. You have to say Expedia enough times to make it worth them covering your show. I get it, but
I'm going to be honest. If it wasn't for Expedia, I don't know if this season would have happened or if the show would still be on the air.
It definitely wouldn't.
There was a hot moment where we did not think Amazing Race was happening anymore, and I'm just thankful it's here.
Yep.
So,
I mean, I guess we can. Okay. Well, since you said that, Expedia. We appreciate you,
Expedia.
I'll book my next trip with Expedia with my reward points. Period.
I don't have any reward points yet, but I could be convinced to maybe start getting Expedia points. I don't travel that much, so it's not going to happen. And when I do, it's places where I know people and I stay with them. Let's be real here. But yeah, so they set out and you have to climb a glacier. Because that's what you can do when you book through Expedia experiences. I don't know if you can do that.
But each person has to climb this glacier and grab this, whatever it is, a flag.
Flag of Iceland.
The flag of Iceland.
And pin it on themselves and go back down. Great. And they
easy enough.
Everybody do it. I mean, Lewis runs up that whole
literally
thing. I'm like, bruh, what? And then Michelle comes and right behind her, she's like, I was like, who are these people? Okay, because
a firefighter and a dancer.
Who are these
people? It kind of makes sense now that I verbalize that. It makes a lot of sense.
Oh no, it makes complete sense.
Complete sense. He ran up that thing like it was some stairs.
Yeah.
Seriously.
The only people of everyone that really struggle are Claire, again, heights, not a Claire thing. Emily, because of her leg, things. Mm-hmm. Aubrey doesn't have the best time, but she does it fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the only two that really struggle.
That was out there. Yeah.
I just want to throw a quick non sequitur. Anytime on a reality show I see a flag next to a carabiner, my mind immediately goes to the duel and ripping that flag off. So I was like half expecting one of the flags. I was half expecting one of the flags to just rip. And if you don't know what that's about, on an old season of the challenge, someone lost elimination because they had to unclip a flag from a carabiner. It was specifically the flag of Brazil, but That really doesn't matter.
Wasn't
And they
it?
ripped it off,
Wasn't it?
meaning they lost. It was CT.
Wasn't it? Yeah,
It
I
was
was like,
CT.
wasn't it CT? Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, I think I remember that right. Back in the good seasons of the challenge, I said what I said.
Back where it wasn't
But
just clicks.
anyway, so after you climb a glacier, teams travel to a place that's whose name starts with an F. Again, not going to say it, but I found it interesting. We overall struggled more with getting these jeeps going than we did climbing a glacier because everyone has issues driving.
It's a consistent issue. It's so bad.
Well, and okay, so from what they were saying, there's like 2 different clutches. There's like 4 different pedals. Like this is not like a car type that we've seen a lot on not Survivor, on Amazing Race. So like it seemed difficult, but like Derek and Claire just kept like jolting back and forth. Who was it? David was having some struggles. Aubrey was having a lot of trouble navigating again, and this.
It's just a mess. It's a mess.
We have to talk about the Aubrey of it all because I genuinely felt for her in this episode, and I understood where she was coming from. Like, yes, it's Final Four. It's a very stressful situation. There's a lot of pressure on you. There's literally, it's this, and then you make it to the final leg. So I get it. She was just having a very emotional couple of moments in this episode. It seemed like on the verge of having a full panic attack.
Yeah, it was just it was a lot of stress. It was a lot of stress.
And I mean, David had been doing a lot of the navigating the last couple of legs, which is why, I think they did a little bit better with their navigating. Aubrey is just not the best at navigating, and that's okay. And it's not, it was ultimately a detriment to their team, or one of several. But yeah, it was interesting. Now, here's where we get kind of the big turning point of the episode. So we have Lewis and Michelle, and we have Aubrey and David, and they're driving towards a place that starts with an F. And
that one is nope. I thought that was the different place. No, that is not pronounceable by English tongue.
It's because it's Icelandic.
It's Icelandic. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry to the people of Iceland. Not even gonna try. Love ya. But we have Lewis and Michelle, or no, we have Aubrey and David second guess their direction skills. They turn around and start going back the same way they came. Lewis and Michelle see Aubrey and David turn around, so they turn around. Is it the other way around?
Other way around.
Lewis and Michelle turn around.
Yep.
Aubrey and David see Lewis and Michelle turn around. They then turn around. And then as they're coming back the way they came, Derek and Claire are going, and they're just like full sending, we're going.
We're going. We're right. This is right. And they were correct. Derek and Claire were correct.
Yeah, I was away while y'all talking about Aubrey and her meltdowns, and I was laughing the entire time because I could hear you all talking about Aubrey and her meltdown, and I was screaming. But this woman, Aubrey, the moment she got the map, I was like, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
They are in trouble. And I was hoping David would be like, you know what? Still, I'm going to drive, but let's map this thing out. But that's not their thing. I don't understand why they don't stop, find what they're looking for on the map, then go. No, they just jump in the car and then hope to find it on the way. But she was so emotional. Poor thing. Poor thing. Just, I wanted to cry for her, but then I was like, girl, get a grip. At the same time, I was like,
in the words of icon, legend, and star Latrice Royale, good God, get a grip, girl.
Yes, girl, please. Good God, girl.
Anyway, we end up making it to place that starts with an F, and we have a roadblock. The only set in stone challenge, like we have the other challenge, we have the challenge that comes after this, but this is the only like you get a choice challenge. Who's feeling misty-eyed? Except Derek does not
Derek
get a choice.
has to do it.
Derek,
No.
Derek doesn't get a choice because he's done too much.
I was wondering when we would get to the point where it's mandatory that a certain person does a roadblock, and here we are. I'm shocked we haven't had that scenario with any other team.
I mean, that's because everybody else goes back and forth and does it equally, except Derek and Claire. Because
a couple, only because Emily has her hurt leg. There's been a couple where it's like been implied that Molly kind of has to do it, but that's like the only thing.
Yeah, well, I would say this one included as well. Yes. Like it's kind of
this one definitely included,
but there's no like set in stone. It's not on the clue.
Right. This
Molly
one
must complete. This one was Derek must complete this roadblock, and I guess I didn't realize how many roadblocks Claire has done in comparison to Derek.
Okay, I will say this. This is the one thing I've noticed. Derek is a punk. Derek is a punk, and he's been a punk this entire season. Anything that he feels that he can't do, he's quick to throw it to Claire. Like, Claire could do memory. Claire could do this. Claire's been on this team.
Claire can put together, what was that? What? The bike. Where were they?
Yeah.
In
Italy.
Maserati?
No, not Maserati. It was oh gosh. Oh gosh, I know it too. Good, it's gonna drive me crazy. Please look it up. It's gonna drive me crazy.
I'm looking it up. Don't worry.
Before this leg, it was actually 4 Derek, 6 Claire, so that's why it was forced.
But I'm just like, dude, it's first of all, when they were at the bike, like, why would Claire know how to put together a motorcycle, bruh? Really? Ducati. Yes, you said Ducati. Do it. I was like, yes, Ducati. But yeah, I'm just like, dude, if I was on a team, I'm sorry, with any man, if I'm on a team with any man or any man who claims, even if they're them man or they man or what, if I'm on a challenge with you, Logan, and it's me and you,
with a masculine individual, let's say that. Let's say that.
Yes.
And we go to a thing, and they say put together a bike. I'm gonna look at you like, I know you got this, right? Because you don't expect me to,
not me.
You don't expect me, and you can say that, but I'm like, you don't expect me to put together a bike?
Yeah, I could probably do it because it's just parts putting it together, but still, yeah,
right.
I understand that,
but okay, but I mean, not to keep the gender norms and like you have to be man, because we saw Molly kill that, and so whatever.
Fuck gender, anyway,
right? But I'm just saying, if I'm on a team with a dude. And you talk about we getting ready to put together a bike, and you looking at me, I'll be like,
"Yeah,
is this like a puzzle?"
Right. So this roadblock, you have to descend into a cave, grab a clue, and then go through like a drop. It's a lot of water. Is basically the challenge becomes a lot of water. Derek and Claire get there first. Derek has to do this one. Cool.
And Derek powers through it.
And Derek is like, "This is what I'm supposed to do. This is meant for me." Slays this challenge.
Yeah,
I mean, but this is what we expected from Derek. Watching him on Big Brother, these are the kind of challenges you expect Derek to slay in, and he did not disappoint. He did that.
Yes. Yeah.
So he wasn't a punk in this one, but he's been a punk this whole season.
So then David goes to do it. And I don't remember ever hearing any mention of David not being a strong swimmer this season.
You know why?
They never had to do
it. They never had a water challenge.
Well, they hadn't had a water. They could have chosen several water challenges.
And that's why he
intentionally didn't.
Yeah.
Because,
So he's going through, he goes the complete opposite direction of where they need to be going to get the clue. Meanwhile, Lewis and Michelle get there. Lewis is like, I'm a firefighter. This is fine. Drops down in, looks over, sees David, looks to his left, sees the clue, grabs the clue, and just passes David. and I felt so bad. And then I felt worse because then Emily and Molly make it there, and Molly does this one, I think rightly so, and Molly laps him
Almost.
almost.
Almost. She doesn't lapse him, but she catches up to him very much so.
They're like
Because
they're right there.
very neck and neck. Like
Yeah.
he comes out and Molly's right a second behind him. Like, and
Mhm.
there's no reason for her to be that close to him at this point.
No.
He should have been done with that challenge a long time ago. And I think he freaked himself out because the water wasn't that deep. He just was like, I'm not a strong swimmer, and the rapids are coming, and he's trying to hold on the walls, and he really just freaked himself out because if he would have just dog pedaled that his way, he still would have made it before Molly got there.
There was a rope they were connected to, right?
Yeah, he could have pulled on the rope.
Okay, then I would not have had an issue. If it's just free water, that's where I have an issue. But if I have something I can hold on to and I know I'm holding on to it, that for me at least.
I'm not sure that's super accurate. I know at points they had it, but when they were sliding down and when they were jumping, they definitely did not have a rope.
No, it was in when they were getting the clue. He could have grabbed the clue and it was a rope next to it. Now he could have it would have took him across, but I don't think he still would have had to swim. And actually let go of the rope and swim. Like, this would have been a challenge I could have actually done. Would I be fast? I don't know, because I'm just a slow person. But I know how to swim. Sure. That would have intimidated me. The rappelling, I would have got over it. I would have been like, all right, is this going to hold me? But I would have got over it. But I think overall, it was a fun-looking challenge. I think I would have had a good time doing it. It's like, rappelling backwards, you grab this clue, you swim, you slide down, you go to the thing, and you slide down again, and then you walk out. It's like a water park. Just have fun. But but if he couldn't swim, so oof.
Well, they all make it. They all make it through, and we get to go. There are names of things that I can say now. Oh, right. I realize, lovely. So we are heading to Silfra Fissure at Thingvellir National Park.
To find the next clue.
I can say things. And so here, it's not a detour because there's really, honestly, not a way to do a detour when you're in the middle of nowhere, Iceland. Mm-hmm. They probably could have, but they just said, nope, you're just going to complete this task. So you have to go snorkeling and memorize 14 Icelandic volcanoes and eruption years.
Yeah.
While in freezing cold water.
And also, all of the volcanoes are not unique because sometimes you have to put the volcanoes more than once.
Yep. The hell whatever.
At least they did not double up and put false names or anything.
Right.
Like all of the names were there. They just need to set the list up.
This, I don't know about y'all, this felt like a final leg kind of challenge. I don't remember a Final Four challenge really being this difficult before. This felt hard. This felt very final leg.
I mean, I like the challenge being here in this leg because if you're going to go to the final, you need to work your way into that final. It shouldn't be easy. It shouldn't come easy to get to the final. And making this challenge as difficult as it was, especially in that water where it's freezing and you have to remember 14 volcanoes and their eruption years, crazy. But I liked it because I'm like, look, if you go get into the final three, you at least have to earn your way in. It shouldn't be, jump off this pole and then you're into the finals. It shouldn't be that easy. It should be difficult. So
I do agree. I definitely like the way that this leg was set up. It did not benefit Emily's leg nor David's swimming abilities very well. No. But
I think David probably feels so set up by this
leg. My roommate even said it. He was like, David got set up here, and I was like, I kind of agree. I don't know if production expected Aubrey and David to make it past leg 10. Let's just say that.
I mean, yeah, they suddenly were like, okay, we're going to throw 2 swimming challenges at you, especially one that you literally can't skip. Have fun. It's like,
Because you
what?
know who would have done really well in this challenge? The
Michael
brothers.
and Marcus.
The brothers.
They kind of did expect them. I mean, here's the thing. I at least said multiple times before my 2-week break, I expect Marcus and Michael to make it to the end. And they plummeted. They plummeted during the mega leg, and that's what cost them everything.
Yeah.
So
You mean mega leg?
But yeah,
I mean, once they fell behind in that mega leg, there was no recovering for them. That picture and him not turning
was over.
That it was over for them after that. They just could not recover from that. But yeah, I do think they didn't expect Aubrey and David to be in that. And I don't think they thought that they would have to deal with somebody who can't swim in 2 swimming challenges back to back. And that, like you said, you can't avoid it.
That compounded with a leg injury that you also can't really expect. Because we know they have these things planned out months in advance. Like, shout out to the logistics team on The Amazing Race, because honestly, that's a dream job for me personally. Like, if I wasn't doing what I'm doing or on the path that I'm on, that seems fun.
Yeah.
Like, where should we go on this year's season? Iceland. Like, that feels so fun to me. Like, that, I feel like that would be really cool. But ultimately, not that many people struggled a lot. I think everybody made it through on their second try.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everyone made it through on their second try. One team was clearly struggling, and it became very, very obvious by the end of the episode that it was their time to go.
Yeah, it was very interesting seeing everybody. Like, I think who did the best this leg on this challenge, the best was Molly and Emily. Honestly, because they literally only needed to swap 2 after their first time, and they knew exactly which it was. If they didn't have to go back and do it again, they could have just swapped it and been done, and it would have been cool.
I think they would have won the leg.
They probably would have.
Which is the gag of it all. I would have loved that personally, but
we're not getting there.
No.
But I mean, here's the thing: we suddenly had everyone at this final thing, literally
together
in like almost a challenge style setup.
Yeah, this was the most suspense.
Yeah.
And it was really, really nice. But suddenly, I mean, teams who got there earlier are naturally going to filter through a little bit faster. But one team very clearly was out in front, and they
won
piled through this challenge.
Derek and Claire. I was like, it is what it is. They did the doggone thing, and I was like, you go, Derek. You go, Claire.
It truly came down to not second guessing their navigation skills. Honestly, and so for winning,
because once they got out front, they stayed there. It was just no turning back for them. It was like, we're here, and we're gonna stay here.
Because it seems like the teams that did turn back, pun intended, ended up with about like a 15-minute gap, it seems like. Estimating there, but probably somewhere around there. But for winning, they receive Expedia reward points for a 5-night stay in London.
Beautiful.
Lovely. Fabulous.
Beautiful.
And they're going to the final leg. And you know who else is? Lewis and Michelle. Coming in second.
I mean, they were right behind them. It very much felt like it.
And in the truest gag of it all, you know who else is? Our girls, Emily and Molly. They made it. They did it.
I just
So let's talk about why they did it. Because Aubrey and David, they went through it the first time. David, again, like we said, cannot swim. And he struggled. He struggled a lot. He was trying to focus on swimming, that he was not focused on the volcanoes and the eruptions.
Yep.
So they
and
did the
more than half
worst.
of it was wrong. More than
Most of
half.
it. I think they only got one right. I
I
think
think
they only got one right.
they got like the first two right the first time,
And
and then everything else was wrong.
because it was wrong. So it was just like they struggled. And so
Yeah.
they went back to do it again, and it was the same thing.
They
It was
were
like
struggling
they were
worse. Yeah.
because David could not focus. He was panicking. He just couldn't. Not knowing how to swim totally cost them this leg, and they decided not to do it again after the third time. To do it a third time because they were like, Aubrey was like, "Look, I don't like seeing David struggle like this. I don't like seeing him, you know." Having this hard of a time, it's not worth it. The water's cold. We're already lost. Everybody's already gone. It was
There's no reason to go back in and make you
and do it
feel any
again.
worse. Let's
Right.
just
So
let's
let's
just
take the
take the two
penalty.
hours. And
They took the
honestly,
penalty. I would have did
why
the same
have
thing.
them wait 2 hours?
Right. I
That was the
think
one part that I was like, you could have just told them like 30 minutes later.
It's
You guys know realistically what happened. Like
I thought
especially after Emily and Molly had already checked
checked
in.
in. Yeah.
Like there was no reason to have it continue.
I think it was more the formality of the thing. Like I honestly
Absolutely.
think I would have expected Phil to pop up at the falls rather than, and honestly, and also we don't know what the time frame was necessarily between them taking the penalty and Emily and Molly actually making it to the pit stop, and it could have been a lot longer than what we saw because again, leg injury, all of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So it could have been a little bit longer, but yes, ultimately Aubrey and David are the last team eliminated before the final leg.
And they're so sweet. They obviously like they're a couple, so they're gonna bicker a bit, but they're so lovely. And I mean, once again, just an amazing team to have. Like
Yeah.
literally just perfect. I
I
also want to say, just because I literally just realized it, I'm not sure how common this is in terms of the total amazing race, but this leg had more women racing than men total, and now the final is going to be 2/3 women,
We
which
we
is
talked we talked about it.
unprecedented.
We talked about it last week how we're guaranteed to have a woman win the season, which again, very excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I didn't even think about it from like the numbers standpoint, but that's actually really cool. It's 2/3 women. Like that I don't think that's very common if
It,
it's ever happened.
the thing is that there were two all women teams this season. One of them was eliminated first.
first.
So to have this
Don't
still happen,
remind me.
oh, I know it hurts. It hurts a lot. But to have that happen where the final two legs are women majority is amazing. And
Yeah.
I mean, it just shows how amazing uh, all of the teams were this season. But especially, I mean, Emily and Molly. Emily has fought through a leg injury since halfway through the season.
Yeah.
And they are doing amazing.
Yeah.
I just, I love them. I love them too much. I love them. I love them. I love them.
I love them so much. It's sickening how much I love Emily and Molly, and I want them.
Yeah.
In my heart of hearts, I know
Hearts.
the truth. My heart of hearts knows the truth,
Don't
and
say
I'm
it.
prepared.
Don't say
No,
it.
I'm not going to say it because I'm prepared for my truth to happen. But in my spirit and my love for these women, I want them to shock the world and pull it out and win this whole thing. And I would just shout for joy. It would be as exciting to
Yeah.
watch them win as it was watching Taylor Hill win on Big Brother 24.
I think it's feasible. I genuinely think it's feasible because, as we know, the final leg is in Nashville. Nashville, to my understanding, is not a city where you can do a lot of walking. And if they're driving themselves and we're doing all of this, I honestly think, given the right set of challenges, and given, I'm gonna say, if they can make it to the final memory challenge at a decent point, I honestly think they have a shot to win. I really do.
I agree with you, and this is why. This is why I agree with you. Because Molly and Emily are really good at remembering things and like the big picture of it all. And if the final challenge is like the challenges have been in past seasons, where it's remembering the small details of things from past legs, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Molly and Emily together can kill that. Both Derek and Claire and Michelle and Luis, they struggle a little bit with remembering little things. And Derek gets flustered. Claire has to calm him down in order for them to get things done. And the same thing with Lewis and Michelle. Michelle gets flustered and Lewis has to calm her down. But Lewis is not the best at remembering things either. So if it ever got to the point where all three teams make it to the last challenge around the same time, I could see Molly and Emily squeaking it past them and winning this whole thing. And like we said, in The Amazing Race, your last challenge is going to be where it is. You do the challenge and then you run through whatever, and there's the final leg. There's the pit stop. So
and they're presumably in a theater, from what it looks like.
In a theater or a
definitely in
stadium.
a theater.
So it's going to be either a
Well,
theater or a stadium.
from the preview, it looked like they were in like a contained, like smaller space, which was weird and different. But
so they could be outside to do the final leg and then run inside to the theater for the, to get the thing. So, which is probably the Grand Ole Opry.
I was gonna say, I think it is. I would be shocked if it wasn't.
I would be shocked if it wasn't.
I didn't recognize the scenery. Yeah, I was like, I didn't recognize the scenery particularly, but also I don't know what the inside of the Grand Ole Opry is. It looks like I haven't been there yet.
I don't know what that is.
I know what the Grand Ole Opry looks like. I've been to the Grand Ole Opry, and it is a theater, and so it's probably in the Grand Ole Opry. Which, if you're in Nashville, then yes, you go to the Grand Ole Opry.
You go to the Opry. You go to the Opry.
You do. That's what you do, and so, yeah, I think it's probably like the Grand Ole Opry has a lot of space. It's like a lot of stuff within, and then the theater is within all of that. So I think it could be somewhere outside of the theater to do their challenge, and then run inside to the Opry to collect it, be at the end. So that's probably where it is. And so I could see that. But like I said, I do think if Michelle and Emily gets to the point at the last challenge, what did I say, Michelle? Molly and Emily get to that last challenge in a good enough time, and the other teams are still there. I can see them pulling that out. I can see them pulling that out. I think this. I'm sorry to cut you off again, Jack. But this group is actually a really good group and very competitive group. I don't know who's going to win this because I can see any of them winning it. And it'll be amazing. Whoever wins is going to be good because I like all of them.
That's literally exactly what I was going to say. The Amazing Race chose literally a perfect cast of people to bring for their return season, where if this season flopped, they were more than likely just done. So they made the right casting decisions throughout the entire race. I could see literally all of the teams had something to them that was so lovely that literally from the first boot to the eventual winner, I would want to see any of them back. They did an amazing job.
I mean, think about that. Think about what you just said. when you said about the first team being eliminated, it literally broke your heart. Like, oh my God, yeah, I remember. We hated every week when somebody had to go because everybody was lovely. Everybody was, and this has come. Even the straight white men in this cast were lovely people, and I did not
Right?
mind them. And which
That
is
was surprising.
very rare and surprising because like the straight white men in most of those seasons, I'm like, it's something about you I don't like. But even
Yeah.
those men, I liked them. I was like, I love their little story. Rex, you're an ex-NFL coach. You're 50 years old or 60 years old, and you're out here losing 50 pounds to come do this. And I liked his story with his golf buddy. I thought they were great. So I liked every person in this cast, and every week hurt. And that's very rare for the Amazing Race.
Every single week.
Every single week hurt.
I will also say, we've already talked about the fact that a woman is guaranteed to win this season. We also are guaranteed that a person of color will win this season as well.
Period.
There are 5 people of color in the final.
And Claire.
And Claire. Well, ain't that a very familiar situation? God.
Oh, all the people of color and Claire. Oh.
And Claire.
And Claire.
But
well, and actually, and also the final 5, 9 people of color out of 10 as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing that like the Amazing Race clearly has over the others is the diversity in casting, just because it's literally like they get so many unique teams that are like the Amazing Race didn't even like before the mandate. It was a bit less, but they didn't have to like get that set up because they already
did it. Right.
They did it naturally. And that is what we love to see. And also, there is 2 and 3 teams in which an Asian person wins, which holy shit, we have not seen on a CBS
incredible
show.
I'm gonna take a wild stab at it and say the last Asian person to win a CBS reality TV show was Natalie Anderson.
I want to say that's right.
I think it's right.
I want to say it's right. If not, it was an Amazing Race team. But I don't think that happened either.
No, I think it was Natalie.
So once again, it's just the Amazing Race.
Wait, what's Erica? Is she Asian?
Oh, yep.
Oh, duh.
Yep.
Erica, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Erica, I love you too much. I'm so sorry.
You see who remembered that, Erica? It's me, Lana. Big fan.
Anyway, we've got one more episode. I'm genuinely sad that the season is almost over. We need to find an international Amazing Race franchise that's airing in the next couple of months because the
only one that is potentially coming up
is Canada.
Is Australia.
Oh
wait, shit! Canada's
no. Australia's happening right now. I thought.
Wait, it is.
Oh yeah, there's like 20 teams on this leg.
Oh God!
On the season.
Christ, no. Yeah, I know they do weird shit.
I know a podcaster that's covering that season. So
let me look it up.
Well, Amazing Race Canada just ended recently too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's what it was. Season 6 of Australia is already over. Wait, no.
Oh.
Finale is October 9, 2022. What the fuck? What?
That was a couple months ago, honey.
Yeah, no, that was a couple months ago, so it definitely ended, right?
Maybe we'll have to do a cup refill on a season of Amazing Race. Maybe, if we have time,
yes.
Maybe.
If we have time, we already have enough on our plate, especially with the stuff that we want to do.
Smile.
Okay. So, yeah, that's that. We have one more leg of this race. They're heading to Nashville, and we're going to find out who wins the Amazing Race. All 3 teams are amazing. All 3 teams are deserving, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be sad that we don't have Amazing Race to talk about anymore, but I'm excited to see who's going to pull this out. And yeah, y'all know what to do. We're done here. So you follow, like, subscribe, do all the things if you enjoyed our coverage on The Amazing Race and all of our other shows. Go back and deep dive into all of our other shows that we do because we do a lot and we do it for you. So if you appreciate us like we appreciate you, check us out on Twitter at the cup_reality to find out when our all the videos will drop. And then follow us too because we're cool people. And while Twitter is still up and running, follow us there. And check us out and see what we do. Jack got some good streaming things that he does that is super cool that you should check out. And
It's a lot of
Logan,
Pokemon at the moment.
I mean, I hear
it
it's very
just came out.
fascinating. Yeah, I heard. My
It's
timeline.
fascinating.
The
My
best game
timeline.
they've ever produced.
The best
My
game
time.
they've ever produced that runs the absolute worst.
Okay,
Alright.
yeah. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So Jack will talk more about that on his Twitch stream. So y'all want to follow that. And Logan is just Logan and is going to talk about anything and everything drag race and other things on his
I exist.
channel.
I'm gonna be honest. I use social media more for this podcast anymore than I do my personal self.
So then there we go. And then me, I'm just here and around doing things and agreeing with things and giving my 2 cents where I feel my 2 cents deserve.
Good, as you should.
Thank you. So follow us and check us out. I appreciate all the people who have followed me. I see you. I know I see you out there following me. I see you and I appreciate you. Even if I don't follow you back, just hold on because I always follow back. But I see you follow me and I appreciate you. And keep following us, follow the cup. And if you have a show that you ever decide, I want to be on the cup, I want to talk about it, hit us up in our DMs. We are open to having you on and join the cup family for a show or 2 or 3. Check us out.
Replies might be a little slow, but they happen.
They do happen. They will happen eventually. But thank you all so much.
Just be around.
We're here. We'll be around. No, I know y'all confused and confused. But thank you all for joining us, and we will talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye. Oh, cheers,
Bye.
y'all.
Cheers. Whoa.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Whoa,
Bye.
yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
We're done here.
Sleep.
Yep, we're gonna
Bye-bye
go to bed now.
now.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye now.
No, for real.